Ever wondered why research methods matter? Why do we need to be meticulous about how we gather our data? Well, the answer is simple, yet profound. Research methods serve as the backbone of any study or investigation. They provide structure, ensuring that the data collected is valid and reliable. Without solid research methods, we risk basing our conclusions on faulty data. So, you see, understanding research methods is not just about gathering data, but about ensuring that the data we gather can be trusted. There are several research methods, each with its own strengths and weaknesses. Let's dive into them. First up, we have surveys. This method involves asking people questions to gather information. It's a cost-effective way to reach a large audience, and the responses are structured, making analysis easier. However, it does have its downsides, including the risk of response bias and a limited ability to explore complex issues in depth. Next on the list are interviews. This method involves one-on-one conversations to collect detailed information. Interviews allow for a detailed exploration of topics and the opportunity to ask for clarification. However, they can be time-intensive, and there's a risk that the interviewer's bias could influence the data. Then we have observations. This method involves watching and recording behavior in its natural context. It captures behavior as it occurs, reducing the risk of participant bias. But it's limited to observable behavior and can be both time-consuming and resource-intensive. Another method is content analysis. This involves systematically analyzing text, audio, or video content. It helps identify patterns in large datasets, and researchers don't need to interact with participants. However, it can be time-consuming and is limited to existing content. Finally, we have experiments. This method involves manipulating variables to study cause and effect relationships. Experiments allow us to establish these relationships and control variables. However, the findings may not always apply to real-life situations, and some experiments may raise ethical issues. As we can see, there's no one-size-fits-all approach when it comes to research methods. Different studies call for different methods. The key is to understand the strengths and weaknesses of each method and choose the one that best fits your research goals and the nature of your study. So, what have we learned about research methods today? We dove into the world of surveys, interviews, observations, content analysis, and experiments. Each method has its unique strengths and weaknesses, and the choice depends on the nature of your study and research objectives. Surveys, for instance, are cost-effective and offer wide reach, but they may not delve deep into complex issues. Interviews, on the other hand, provide in-depth insights but are time-consuming and may be subject to interviewer bias. Observations capture real-world data but are limited to observable behavior. Content analysis allows for systematic analysis of large datasets but is also time-consuming. Lastly, experiments establish causality in a controlled environment but may not always reflect real-life situations. In essence, the right research method unlocks the door to reliable and valid data, paving the way for meaningful insights. Remember, the key to successful research is selecting the method that best suits your research objectives. Happy researching!